Earlier tonight, I spoke with the Executive Director of Doctors Without Borders in the United States, Jason Cohn, and I asked him to react to the succession of official explanations of the attack.
I think for us it reinforces the fact that we need an independent and impartial investigation into this bombing.
I was in a very small village in South Sudan, the northern part of South Sudan, where we ran a hospital. It was in the middle of nowhere. And I met a woman who, one morning in the clinic, she had brought her two twins to our hospital. And through a translator, I asked her, how did she get to the hospital and what. She had carried both her twins about 20 miles, done everything she could to bring her children to get vaccinated. The things that they do to save their families or protect their children are really quite amazing feats of courage. Doctors Without Borders, we work mostly in war zones. We don't use soldiers to protect us. We don't protect ourselves with weapons. The way we get protection is essentially by having the community support the work we're doing. We're in very uncertain times in the world today. The international order that we saw after World War II is essentially being deteriorated. Commitments to things like the protection of refugees, respect for things like the Geneva Conventions are really very precarious. I was born in France, I lived in Japan, and so early on in life I was exposed to really quite incredible discrepancies in terms of poverty, people's access to education. So I knew from very early on that I had a very privileged life, and I had a early responsibility to take advantage of that. I came to F&M assuming I would be a marine biologist, and assuming that I would actually work on protecting the oceans, protecting marine ecosystems. I came out of F&M. I was working with some of the most experienced journalists who had retired, people who had written for Tom Brokaw, New York Times, and they were tough. They were tough judges, and I don't think I would have nearly been able to work with them and accept their criticism if I hadn't already experienced the level of expectation of an F&M class. I never envisioned myself being the executive director of this organization. It wasn't what I set out to do when I was 15, 20 years old. I knew that I wanted to do meaningful work. I wanted to affect people. Whatever comes next after that, I know will be somehow connected to that kind of meaning and purpose. But for now, focused very much on the challenge at hand of leading this organization here in the United States.